first reading today, the gifts of prudence and wisdom are acclaimed as more precious and valuable than any worldly riches. However, in our culture today, prudence and true wisdom are regularly abandoned in favor of a fantasy of happiness through imprudent and unwise decision. You've most likely noticed the political campaigns at both state and national level have focused on support of abortion as the determining factor on the candidate who will deserve our vote. One aspect of abortion that's routinely ignored is the post-abortion effect on those who've experienced it. I volunteered for a few years as a chaplain for the Rachel's Vineyard retreat. It's for those who've experienced abortion and want to be healed from the spiritual and psychological damage that they've suffered. Dr. Teresa Burke, the author and executive director of Rachel's Vineyard, has observed that one group of people who oppose the retreat believe that individuals who've had abortions don't deserve to be healed, while those who are abortion advocates say post-abortion trauma is a myth. This morning, I want to present the testimony offered at a Rachel's Vineyard conference in Texas a few years ago by Julie Enriquez. Julie was 16 years old when she found out she was pregnant. Julie's mother had passed away when she was 10, and her father was very emotionally distant. Julie says that she looked for male validation and love in other men. When she thought she might be pregnant, she and her girlfriend looked through the phone book and found Planned Parenthood. Julie went there. The pregnancy test was positive. The 24-year-old man who had said he loved Julie abandoned her when he learned she was pregnant. The counselor asked if she had anyone to support her. She couldn't tell her father. He didn't even know that she talked to boys on the phone or snuck out at night to be with them. Julie said she had no one. The counselor didn't offer to bring her father in and help her work with him. The counselor didn't mention options like abortion. What she said was, "When do you want to schedule your abortion?" So at 16, with no one to support her, confronted with this life and death decision, Julie felt she had no other option, so she went through with the abortion. Julie says that with the abortion, something in addition to the baby died inside her. She made up her mind not to hurt like this again, so she poured a huge barrier around herself. No one will ever hurt her this way again, she felt. Julie says that she became very hard, cold, and cynical. And that's the way she lived her life. In college, she drank heavily, experimented with drugs, and was very promiscuous. Julie didn't have nightmares. She told herself that she did what she had to do and locked the memory of abortion away. Julie says that she didn't know that her ongoing misery was connected to her abortion until she went to her Rachel's Vineyard retreat. It was there she learned about post-abortion trauma. By the grace of God, Julie met and married her husband, whom she called her knight in shining armor. But coldness and cynicism was a recurrent problem. A friend told her about Rachel's Vineyard. Julie thought helping out there would be an opportunity to counsel girls who were considering abortion and could benefit from her story and learn about good options. When Julie spoke to the retreat coordinator, she was told that her help would be very appreciated. However, if she had an abortion, she'd have to go on the retreat first. Julie thought, I don't need that, I'm fine. But because of the requirement, she signed up. She says that she almost didn't go, but because she was to pick up another retreatant, she couldn't disappoint that person, so she went. Having to give the ride was probably the technique the coordinator used to make sure Julie came. Julie says that in the very first exercise in the retreat, she broke down and cried. And she says, quote, "The retreat changed my life. From now on, my mission is to get the word about Rachel's Vineyard out. It changes lives. It changed my life. It changed my marriage. It changed the lives of my children. It changed every person I met. They're not meeting a wounded, damaged, self-destructive person. They're meeting someone who's been changed by the love of Christ. And then I can share that life and that love with them. I want to say, a woman who has been healed from past abortion is a mighty weapon in the hand of God. Amen.